were there ever any moments where you looked at your life, your career path, and you said, this, this music thing is incredibly challenging for me right now. I don't know if this is going to end up working out. And how did you push through that to get to where you are now, to where obviously it's your life and everything's worked out great?
A lot of it's well, it's up and down. It's always up and down, and even typo is always a roller coaster, up and down. Glory today and destruction the next day. So it's very, very up and down life. It's definitely draining. And there was a period after 2009, after Peter died, that I just opted out, and I just ran from the business because it was just financially too difficult to do anymore, and it was just depressing. So I did, for a long period, not chase. I call it chasing the ghost. I didn't chase the ghost for a number of years, but I come to realize that it's part of the fabric of who I am and what I do. So there's only one way to move, and that's forward. And it's just keep creating. Because at first I'm an artist. Before anything in my life, I was an artist and a musician. And I realized that that's what I'm always going to be. Even when I'm 70 years old, I'm going to be that drooling old guy with a guitar playing a blues riff. And I'm consigned to that. That's it. That's what it is. So I'm always going to go forward. Whatever I'll follow, whatever path musical is going. Whatever band path to its ultimate end, and then once that's over, I'll go to the next one. If that lasts, I'll stay with that. However I can express myself, I'm going to use that vessel.
Right. So after Peter's passing, you were considering not pursuing music for.
Oh, I didn't. I just
You
like,
didn't.
yeah, I didn't for a long time.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
needed that.
and
What was it? I mean, what was it like when you started jumping back into it after that? Did it take a lot of
it was
time or was
hard.
it just a quick thing? It was hard.
It was hard. Yeah, yeah. So it was hard getting a deal, getting a record company, all that stuff, because the business had changed and all that, and things had changed. So it took me a long time to adapt. So, but by any means necessary, though, I got to get the music out either way. So if I have a collection of songs and a band and an idea, and it's come to fruition, there's just the main goal is to get it out there so people can hear it. So that's what I do. That's what I'll always do.
Did you get to spend a lot of time with Peter during his last weeks and days?
The last weeks and days, no, because he was living in Pennsylvania at the time with a girl that he had shacked up with for about, I don't know, 6 months or so. So we were going to get together. Um, we had just nailed down a studio to rehearse for the next album, to create the next album and whatnot when he passed. So I hadn't seen him in weeks.
Hmm. And there wasn't a bunch of communication. So, I mean, what ended up happening with that material that you guys were working on at that time?
We didn't have any. Like I said, by that time in the band's career, there was no material written. We just walked into a studio, and then the riffs just started being played, and that's how we developed it. So there was nothing written.
Yeah. Nothing written at that point. And how would you describe, like, looking back just at the impact that you guys ended up having, um and of course that Peter had? I mean, how would you describe the sort of phenomenon that was you guys' group looking back?
Um, I would say that you know it's a strange story. We're a weird group. I mean, we never really fit in, but we kind of sort of fit in everywhere, and we were an oddball band. I mean, people try to call us like a goth metal band and stuff like that, but really we were an alternative rock band when it came down to it. There was a lot of different styles and genres in the band, and it's just always an odd band, and people never really got us. Like when we were joking, they thought we were serious, and vice versa. And I've kind of lived to accept that and accept that that's the uniqueness of the band. We'll
Hmm.
always be a weird band, and we're never gonna be like top 40. We're never gonna be this band that's like whatever on cover of Rolling Stone, and we're always gonna be a weird intermediate. type of artist. You know, that was always our influence. You know, and I've come to be proud of that.